Before we get started with any of this Pro Club stuff, just one little question. I've been doing a little bit of research and I've just figured out that I'm all the way down here, whereas most of my views are coming from all the way up here. I'm down under, I'm Australian, I'm fighting mythical creatures every night. But a question for people in the UK, a very serious question. Why does everyone have this haircut? Now, don't tell me that you watching, you have this haircut too, don't tell me that. Anyway, GK, diving, Pro Clubs, all of that good stuff. Let's get into the main things that you got to be doing when you're diving, as well as the things that you should avoid as a goalkeeper. Now, you don't know how many people ask me whether or not to use buttons when they're diving. And the simple answer is no, don't touch your buttons when you're diving. Don't press A or square or X or whatever the corresponding buttons are on Xbox, just don't press them. So how do you most effectively dive? We're going to get to that in a minute. The second thing you should not do is to spam and flick. Now both of those are in themselves really important, because by spam I mean completely spamming your right stick, left, right, center, up, down. And when I say don't flick, I mean don't just press it in the direction that you think is going to dive for 1 second or so. Instead, you have to hold it there until your guy saves the shot. Okay, now that that's all out of the way, let's talk about the most important things that you need to be doing and the things that are going to get you the saves other goalkeepers can't get. This first thing that I'm going to mention, it's going to change the way you dive forever. Literally forever. And I don't say that lightly. I genuinely mean if you master this way to save a shot, the saves that you will see yourself make, the animations that you're going to get. This is me giving out the Krabby Patty formula. This is me giving out the scroll from, what was that, Kung Fu Panda? So let's go through it step by step. From now on, instead of thinking that diving is just using the right stick, start thinking of diving as using 3 crucial things, and that's using your L1 on PS5 and LB on Xbox, your left stick, and then your right stick after that. That's how you dive right there, and let's go through exactly what I mean. The first thing that I mentioned, aka L1 or LB, that's your auto position. Now, people accuse that of being a beginner's toy, of goalkeepers who use that are really not that great. Your auto position is one of the most important buttons as a goalkeeper, and you pretty much always need to be holding it as your opponent is approaching your box. Where it gets difficult is where you use your left stick and your L1 together, and that's the most important part. In everything that you do, you need to use these 2 buttons together. When the opposition is in a good position to shoot, and when you're predicting that they're going to, that's when you need to move off of your L1, and you got to start controlling your GK with your left stick. And by controlling, I mean slight steps off of your positional dot into the position that you think is going to shoot. So you're holding your L1, the opposition's approaching, and then he reaches a good position like you see now. So that's when I manually control my goalkeeper and I'd make him step slightly into the position that he's going to shoot. Simply put, by doing this, you get saves and no one else will. And lastly, of course, that's when you have to use your right stick though. So you've moved away from your L1, you've taken a slight step with your left stick, and then you obviously dive with your right stick into the position that he shoots. Using your L1 and your left stick together is something that you have to do every single game. And for me, that's even more important than using your right stick, because if you get your position right, you're in the right place to save every single shot. And so the right stick is just a reflex. So for the last time, make sure that you're always using your L1 and your left stick together, and whenever you're anticipating a shot, make sure to take slight steps with your left stick off of your positional dot, whether it's from a long shot or from inside of the box. Now, following on from that point is answering the question of when to actually start holding your right stick, when to start diving. And it's as your opponent is connecting to the ball. It's like a green timer on 2K. You hit the right timer and you get the better animations, you get perfect shots. But in this case, if you hit the right time to dive, you're gonna get a pretty much guaranteed save. Cutting this video a little bit shorter, I got no time. It's already taken me 2 weeks to make it. Goalkeeper build, save assistance, a huge new Discord where I'm gonna invite everyone in, a Twitter account. I've got a lot of things coming up after my finals. If anyone's got some business notes, get in contact, I need them now.